This new Claude MCP update is pretty impressive. So, what I want to show you now is an example of a new update inside Claude Code. You can also do this inside Cursor and everything else. And basically, you can access loads of different tools that I'm about to show you using something called the MCP Docker. And essentially, Docker have a new update where you can see all of a list of MCP servers, and these are all like secured servers that you can access. And then in one button, you literally click it and get access to all these MCPs. So I'll show you exactly how to set this up and how it works step by step today. So the first thing you want to do is download docker.com. And then from here, once you've downloaded Docker, you're just going to open it up. So once you've installed Docker, you can actually open up Docker Desktop, like you can see from here. And inside Docker Desktop, you can go to extensions. And if you click on manage, you can get the Docker MCP toolkit, right? So you can see the Docker MCP toolkit. And if we open this up on the left-hand side, you can just literally toggle on all the different MCP servers. And if you go to MCP clients, you can then select, for example, Claude Desktop or Gordon, Cursor, or continue.dev as well, right? So any sort of program that you would normally install MCP clients onto, you can just automatically install by clicking connect directly here. So I've got them installed inside Docker, and then I can, for example, enable 11 Labs or Firecrawl with one click inside Claude. And if we go to Claude and then we go to settings, from here, we're going to go over to developer, and inside the developer section, we can select MCP Docker, and you can see that is running right there. Boom. Now, the good thing about using MCP Docker is you can have multiple different MCP tools enabled directly inside here. It's all toggled on, so you can toggle them off or toggle them on if you want to as well. You've got all the tools. So, for example, like we've got 11 Labs agents inside there. Also got Firecrawl, for example, as well. This is so much easier. So you can see here, for example, I've said use Firecrawl search to find mentions of Julian Goldie online this week. And then it's used the Firecrawl search MCP to look through the web and start finding that information, which is really cool. So any sort of tool that you would normally set up with manual coding or trying to figure out the code and stuff like that, you can just toggle on right here. This is so much easier as well and cheaper than using something, for example, like Visual Studio Code. So if you were using Visual Studio Code to start installing MCP servers, it can be a bit of a nightmare. And I'll show you what I mean. So if we open this up right here, all right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Klein. We'll open up Klein, and I was trying to install something called Stagehand the other day, and it just wasn't getting it. It just wasn't getting it. I'll show you an example, right? So we sent the request, then it had an error. Then we sent another request that cost us money. All these API requests cost us money to try and install this MCP for Stagehand. Total nightmare. And then it keeps installing it, keeps giving us errors, and you can avoid all of that and all the money that it costs to generate the MCP installation by just going to Docker Desktop and then installing and enabling some examples, right? So you can see here all the different stuff that we've enabled. Pretty simple and easy to do. And then let's say, for example, you want to start using this inside Docker Desktop. Let me show you how it works. So if we go over to Claude, for example, I'm just going to check that the developer settings are enabled. Here we go. Then we'll go to developer, and you can see MCP Docker is running and ready to go right there. Okay, pretty nice. So if we now go inside here, and let's say we want to use, I don't know, 11 Labs or something like that. So if we go inside new chat and we say, okay, use 11 Labs voice agent to generate audio saying, I like chips and beans, right? Because who doesn't? And from here, it will start generating the MCP 11 Labs voice agent, right? It says, I'll help you generate the audio. Here's a file. It's ready for you to use. You can find it on your desktop. Boom shakalaka. We're off to the races, and we're living the dream, my friends. All right. So you can see here, for example, it scraped my website. We'll scrape your website. Let's scrape the main page. Let's gather some information. And then it's just grabbed like all the information from my website, including like the services we sell, our packages, exactly what we do, etc., our other offers, key features. And then you've basically got like a nice little scraper bot that can just go off on the web and do whatever you want, right? Now, if you want to set this up from scratch, let me show you an example. So let's say we want to set up a new MCP, right? Let's have a look through here. Let's say, for example, Perplexity. right? We need to set up Perplexity here. So what we can do, if you want to enable Perplexity inside, for example, Claude, right? And then you can combine the best of both. So you can go to your Perplexity settings, just make sure you have the Pro plan. And then from here, we can just go to the API section. So API keys on the left. So I'm just going to grab that in the background. And then once you've got that API key, as I've done in the background here, we can then go to Docker Desktop. We plug in the API key. Nice and simple, easy peasy, boom shakalaka. We're just going to enable that. And then if we go back to MCP settings, you can see that's enabled and toggled on. Right? And then probably what we'll need to do is just restart Claude Code. So let's quit that. Then we're going to open this bad boy up again. Just make sure you do restart it, otherwise you probably won't see the tools there. So from here, we've now got this enabled. If we scroll to the settings, then we're going to go to Docker, and boom, Perplexity Ask, Research and Reason, ready to go. How easy was that? Nice and simple. So now let's have a look and we'll say, okay, use Perplexity. And what integrations have we got here for Perplexity Ask, Research, Reason? Okay, let's use Perplexity Reason to figure out the best way to use MCPs today for my AI agent on Claude, something like that. Okay, and then we can hit enter, and we should be good to go. All right, so now you can see it's using Perplexity Reason MCP, and that is just literally we just click a button and we're ready to go. How much time have you saved and API costs have you saved by doing that versus, for example, just going on to Visual Studio Code, then you go back and forth with it, you wait 20 minutes, it's still not working, you question what you're doing with your life, and then you can just, for example, use this process instead. So now it's using Perplexity Reason, Research, etc., all the API calls from Perplexity directly. And then also the other cool thing here is you can do multiple different calls, right? So for example, you could have one prompt where you call Firecrawl to scrape a website, then you use Perplexity Reason to analyze that data, and all of a sudden you've got an AI super agent inside Claude that can just connect with all your different apps in one single click. So way easier than just using the normal MCP process. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to all the video notes from today, that's for free inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments and description there, peeps. And if you go to the new Claude MCP update here, you can scroll down and you'll see all these notes on how to install this stuff, how to use it, etc. Plus, we've got a bunch of resources for you here on AI super agents if you like that stuff, along with some details on, for example, like how to install local MCPs so that Claude can actually access your laptop and all that sort of thing as well. It can do some crazy stuff. Also, inside the feed here, you'll see that we actually give away free trainings every single day. So all these new free trainings are coming every single day. We just give them away to help you. You can opt in. You can see all the people, very active community, and it's got a community of 11,200 members. Feel free to get that. If you do want to connect with me personally, feel free to join the AI Profit Boardroom. This is a community where you can actually request different, for example, you can request like different automations, right? So for example, if we scroll down here, you can see in the how we can help you section, what we do each week is we create a feed where people can just post their automation requests. Then we actually just go off and build them and give you like a video tutorial personalized from me, plus the details and exactly how to set all this stuff up, right? And we do that for everyone who posts, which is pretty crazy. And also inside there as well, you get all of my best SOPs, automations, workflows, etc. that you can just steal from me. And additionally, we also have 3 coaching calls every week, right? So you can jump on the coaching call today if you sign up now. And we've got 3 spots available at the current price, and then the price goes up. So make sure you sign up now. All right. Links in the comments and description. Appreciate you watching. If you're like, Julian, mate, I just want you to do all this for me. Just book in a free AI strategy session. Link in the comments and description, and we can just jump on the call, figure out what you need to outsource, and then from there, we'll implement it for you, right? We can implement automations for you. A lot of people think we just do SEO, but actually we do AI automation too. So if you want to sign up for that service, link in the comments description, and appreciate you watching.